this has been going on for a minute, man. I would have never thought it would have taken me 3 sessions to color this, but um, as I'm finding out, coloring it and talking, you know, it's a lot to do. Your mind goes and you not only focused on you know the getting the colors down. You're also kind of getting to the talking. So I don't know. It's not that it's not effective. It's not that it's not working. Like I said, it's just doing this. Like I said, the GoPro S camera that I'm using, basically what it does is at 10 minutes it makes that a clip and then it resets. Um, which is also cool because I do a lot of the editing or most of the editing for my videos. I actually do it on my iPad. And for whatever reason, my iPad doesn't, when I upload to YouTube, um, it doesn't allow me to update over 15 minutes. It's stuck there. It doesn't. I think it's a quirk. I think it's a quirk of the app and the software. But I can't upload over 15 minutes, um, which is kind of cool. Like I say, it kind of regulates me to keep my videos short by default, which is why I normally like when I'm doing time lapse. That's awesome. When I'm doing something like this, where I'm actually working real time and talking, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Have to kind of work a little faster and figure out things on a different type note. But not bad. It's just different. You know, um, Nothing wrong with different. All right, so now I gotta pause that music in the background because we get into some of the older videos where I did not actually have um, copyright. Uh, had that weird dynamic where um, you know, I was crediting the artist, but YouTube said, "Oh, you can't monetize because you don't have the rights to this music," which is completely fair and I completely understand. So now that we've drifted back to on a playlist a couple older seasons, I'm just going to stop that. Um, Normally, if I was just working, I would probably find something else to kind of listen to in the meantime. But I don't want to pause the video, and I don't want to take any time away from working on this to go hunting down music. Uh, like I said, normally the music for it that I use in the time lapse videos. Before I was using whatever it was I was listening to when I was working. Then it got to the point where I am not was I am creating the music, the break beats or whatever instrumental that you hear that's playing in the background. So just in case, for those of you who didn't know, anything past season 2, drawing sessions, if you're hearing the beats in there, those are beats produced by yours truly. Uh, and if you've watched my promo video, that that song in there was I did the original and one of my students remixed it for me in our multimedia class. So um, and he graciously allowed me to use the music. So big shout out to James Mumford. I need to catch up with you. We got some stuff we got to do, bruh. I'm definitely gonna need some music hands. Uh, and you're close. I know how you work, so kind of want to see about leveling up and doing some additional stuff. So if you're out there watching, Mr. Mumford, I'll be reaching out to you here fairly soon. Alright, so let's see. And like I said earlier, there's no true hardcore rhyme or reason to how I'm doing what I'm doing and the colors that I'm picking. I'm kind of figuring out as I go and just keeping track of which colors I use in the previous videos, previous pictures. Yeah, that way, I say it's kind of fresh. You know, I mean, you wanted to, if you ever wanted a bird's eye view, try to figure out, hey, what does somebody think about when they picking out colors and whatnot? You may not know exactly what I'm thinking in my head, but you definitely get to see the process. I mean, as far as picking it, making sure it works, and going back and doing some other dynamic things with it. Let's say I like to use color to add depth and shade some things. You'll see me do that quite a bit. And I will say, if anybody's out there watching it and you just happen to be really, really skilled with using a marker, I honestly will take any tips you got. Like I said, it's not my strongest skill, but with practice, so I do believe with practice we'll be able to improve. But definitely, if you know me, I'm definitely willing to learn, see about getting improving to get better, and like I tell my students in my class, and I know I've said students a couple of times, so I guess I should be clear in case some of you don't know. I'm also an adjunct professor, so I actually teach a lot of computer classes. Like see, a lot of CIS classes, like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. These are things that I actually teach in the classroom. Teach at a small school, Lansdale School of Business. Not only do I teach there, I'm also an alumni there. So, and I love my school. Nice small school. It's a great school. For somebody who perhaps doesn't know if they're ready to take the next step for college. It's a good place. Like I said, I would recommend it. Definitely helped me out. I mean, I wasn't a stellar high school student, but when I did go back to school, I went there, and they helped me to get in touch with and understand what it meant to be a good student. Not waste money, not waste time, which is so very, very important, especially when you're paying for schooling yourself, which I was. Like I said, at that stage, I didn't have mommy and daddy to help me pay for school. I'm going to school, and on my own dime, using my GI Bill and whatever resources, I had available to me. So, not wasting and not wanting to waste money and time was important, and they definitely were great about making sure I didn't do that. So, if for nothing else but that, I am absolutely always going to be extremely thankful to them. And so, I mean, they kind of paved the way for me to go on and get additional degrees and certifications and other kinds of stuff. And once I got my master's, to actually come back and be able to teach. So, I definitely like the environment, and love my students, try to help them as much as possible, grow as students, as artists, as people. So enough of the after school PSA at this point. So at this point, I'm actually pretty done. Yes, and that's my alarm, so I know to wrap it up. There we go. If I can shut it off. All right, there we go. So, actually done with this page. Fairly pleased with how it came out. I think it's really nice. Like I said, I'm not the neatest colorist, never have been. The inside of the lines never meant a lot to me. So, hey, thanks for watching. We'll work some more of these real-time live action episodes into the time lapse thing. The time lapse videos aren't going away. So.